So this March has marked the 3-year point of owning this Audi S3. And if you see my channel, which if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you have, you probably know how much I enjoy this car. So what is this video about? Let's talk about it. Now, I've said many times on my channel that I probably wouldn't get rid of this car. I probably wouldn't sell this car. And I had mentioned that there was only one car right now that I would consider selling the S3 for, and that is the 8V RS3. And as I'd mentioned in previous videos, there is an issue there. These things are crazy expensive right now in the used market. But there's actually 2 other cars that are on that short list of cars that I would consider selling this for. And one of them actually popped up on the used market recently, and it has me seriously considering potentially selling the S3 and starting a new journey with another car. So what are those 2 other cars? One of them is the G87, or sorry, not G87, is the F87 BMW M2, the OG M2. And then the other one is actually the M2 as well. It's the F87 M2 competition. Since I got into cars about 8 years ago when I bought my first Subaru BRZ, I had learned about the M2, and it's kind of been a car that I've been dreaming about ever since I've been driving performance cars. And when I sold my GT86 back in 2020, I actually thought about buying an M2, but while I was shopping for those, I came across an article that led me down the path of ultimately purchasing that 1LE Camaro. Very strange cross shop, but there's actually a lot more similarities than you would think between those 2 cars. So as I said, this is my 3rd year with this car, over 3 years actually, and as many enthusiasts would probably agree, I am starting to get that itch of wanting something different. So I started going down the path of, looking into what the potential options were. There's not many, as I said. The RS3, that is one of the attainable dream cars on my list, but they're just way too expensive, man. Unless they have massive collisions on them, even if they have like 100,000 kilometers, they're selling for usually 60,000 up to 70,000. Some of them, if it's really clean and it has low mileage, you're looking at $80,000 for a 4 to 5 year old car, which is crazy. And it's just not something that I have the money to do. And on top of that, just that price alone is one part of it, but the maintenance, the increased maintenance with those bigger brakes, with the engine if anything goes wrong, it's going to be a lot more expensive, and it's just something that I can't justify and I'm not in a position to do right now. So on to the M2s. The M2 is kind of a similar scenario where they're very hard to come by locally, even within Canada, honestly. Like countrywide, there are very few to choose from on the market. I am very particular about wanting a black car, and there is only 3 black ones to choose from. This is the F87 M2, so there's 2 2018s and 1 2017. 2 of them have around 90,000 kilometers. One of them has 70, but they all have front end collisions. So the downside obviously is when you're dealing with a car that has a collision, you don't know how well the repairs were done. You don't know what the quality of those repairs were. But on the upside, if I can get the car taken to a really reputable shop and have them do a pre-purchase inspection, if everything is good, it would allow me to really negotiate on that price. So I actually have an appointment tomorrow at 2 p.m. to go look at a really clean looking, it does have an accident on it, but a clean looking 2018 M2. It's spec'd exactly how I would want to spec a car. It's black, it has the M Performance exhaust, it has carbon fiber aero bits on it. It's just exactly how I would want the car spec'd. And it's being sold at a really reputable dealer that's known for selling performance cars. So I do have that appointment, but over the last week since making the appointment, I've kind of already shifted my mind, and I'm thinking that I may not show up to that appointment, and I'm going to talk about why. But before I go into that, I want to talk about the 3rd car, which is what I think I may end up going for, and this is probably going to be a 1 to 2 year thing because right now it's not feasible, but I really would love to own an F87 M2 competition. So again, there's actually none on the market right now. in my area, and the ones that were on the market are really, really expensive because they hold their value really well. But we can talk about that another time. I really just want to talk about, and I've said this a million times, and I feel like I'm probably sounding like a broken record, but after everything, after I've gone down the rabbit hole of looking into cars, making the appointment, I had kind of convinced myself that it was probably time to move on from the S3. You know, I don't think I want to go for a hybrid turbo. I don't think I want to build the engine. That's a lot of money, and it's just something that I don't really want to start. I don't want to start down that path. I'm really happy with where it's at right now. There are some cosmetic things that I still want to do that would really finish off the build, but I had gone through, you know, the whole mental process of watching it. I've already seen all the M2 videos on YouTube, I think, but you know, I revisited them. I was on Reddit, I was on you know, F87 BMW M2 Facebook groups, and I made that appointment. And I did think that I was ready. You know, I felt like I was ready to start the next chapter in my car journey. But the weather's been nicer. It's finally summer here, and essentially, you know, the day that I made that appointment, it was like maybe close to a week ago. I got into the S3, I started it up, and I took it for a spirited drive, and I started feeling like I will probably regret selling this car. And you know, there's so many reasons. For one, this car has been extremely reliable for me. I've just hit 75,000 kilometers, and I have been stage 2 tuned with integrated engineering for 35,000. So almost half of this car's life, it has been tuned stage 2, and it's given me 0 issues. On top of that, it hasn't been expensive to maintain. You know, it's been very affordable to maintain for a performance car. As a daily driver, I don't think I could really ask or find something more perfect than this. It has 4 doors. We have 2 small dogs, me and my fiance, and I can fit their crate in the back of the car when we want to go for walks at the park, or if they have to go to the vet. You know, there's tons of room back there. It has a lot of trunk space. I've never had any issues shuttling anything around if I need to move stuff. I've taken this car camping for the last 3 years, and I'm able to fit all of the camping gear, including one of my friend's camping gear, in the car with both of us in here. I can fit adults in the back seat. And all of those things, another one is like in the winter, right? Because we get a lot of snow here, this car has been essentially bulletproof for me. I'm not a stranger to driving rear-wheel drive in the winter. I did drive rear-wheel drive cars for about 6 years, manual as well, and I had no problems. You know, you get used to it, you understand the limitations, you know how you have to adjust your driving. But this thing in the winter, I have absolutely no worry, regardless of how bad the weather is. It can be a blizzard, we can have a foot of snow, you know, this thing will just power through. So all of those things considered, you know, this thing is already perfect stock because of those reasons. But at stage 2, this car it's really, really quick. Integrated engineering puts the numbers for me, and these are probably inflated, but they have the numbers for stage 2 with my mods for this gen, the facelift 8BS3, at 425 horsepower and 460 foot-pound torque. And even if it's at like 400 and 430 or something, even if it's a little lower, this car is extremely quick. It's not going to be beating supercars, obviously, but for a daily driver, for everything that this car does, and the interior, like I have the SS seats, as you can see here. Those are an upgrade. They're probably a little less comfortable than the stock seats, to be honest, but just the way they look, the interior of this car looks really premium, especially to other cars in its segment and in the price range. You know, you can get this car. This is a 2020, and it's a Technic. It's a top trim. I think that's called the Prestige, maybe in the United States. I'm not really sure. But the top trim in Canada, you can get the 2020 S3 with relatively low mileage on it for like 35,000 Canadian. And you could probably bargain them down a little bit, right? So this thing just does everything. It literally does everything. I know with the M2, especially the OG F87 non-competition, that car, the sound of it is up there for me with like some of the best sounding engines and exhausts that you can get, obviously without going to supercar levels. And then the competition, although it doesn't sound as great, the tuning potential on that S55 is absolutely mental. But I do know for sure, just based on my experience with the GT86, I would absolutely love the way that car drove. And at this point, that's really the only benefit that that car has over the S3, right? Being as reliable and practical and everything as this car is for a daily driver, I really do think that although I absolutely love the M2 and I do need to own one at some point, I think if I were to do it right now, I'm probably going to regret it. And just a little side story, I have a friend who actually I met through my channel. He was a viewer. He had a 2018 S3 and he had modified it and it was really sick, and he ended up selling it. And within a few days, he had messaged me and said, don't sell your S3, you will regret it. And this past week, he's already picked up another 2017 S3 that he's already started to modify. So take that as you will, but that's just kind of an update of where things are at. You know, if you guys like car content, if you're interested in more content, please don't hesitate to leave me a like, drop me a comment, let me know how you feel about this. Let me know what you think. Should I sell the S3 for an M2? What other cars are out there that could be potential, you know, replacements for the S3? I don't think there is many, at least not for me. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I will see you all in the next video.